Connecting to cloud server. Recording is in progress, ladies and gentlemen. They tell me it's Tuesday. They tell me it's 6 o'clock in Texas. Bobby Gray joining you out of studio from the other side of the world. Can we hear me okay? Am I on? Is this thing on? Oh, I got a hand up from Robbie Rue holding down the fort. Hold on. Let's make you a panelist here. Who else is joining us? Are the other friends? Kristen's out there. Let's switch her over to panelist. Who else is there? Is McKaylin joining us tonight? No, McKaylin so far. You're here. You're live. What's it like in Texas right now, man? I haven't been there in so long. Tell me you've got this.
It's hot. It's warm. It's moving
Texas.
is normal.
Hi, Kristen.
Hi.
Good evening from beautiful Bangkok.
I'm so jealous.
It was a long journey getting out here, but it was not too bad. This is my first time flying out here crypto rich, or one step below crypto rich. I guess crypto rich is when you're in the G6, the Global Express, when you're like in your bedroom watching the clouds go by. I flew over here first class, and it was very nice, and I've never done it before. I've told myself 100 times I'm not going back to Asia if I'm not flying first class. And this is the first time that I actually was able to follow through on that promise I made to myself.
Very nice.
So, what's new? What did I miss? Anything happening around HQ today?
Just business is normal. Things are going swimmingly. The building is not on fire. The price of TexitCoins on fire.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that just yet because it's going to monopolize this whole conversation. Who else is supposed to be on this call? Is Ron Parr out there? Is Eddie out there? I don't see anybody. Slackers.
Yeah. I know we're gonna be Shy, Paige, and Jeremy, and all those guys as well from finance. So I'll try and give you a little update on that.
I'm trying to hear you guys, and you guys are very quiet. Can you give me a little more audio?
Is this better?
Oh, I got you now. Now it's much better.
Okay, here.
Can we still hear me all right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Is that much better?
Oh, there's Gaige. Hold on. Gaige is here. Gaige is literally here. I just promoted maybe the wrong person to panelist. We have somebody pretending to be Gaige.
See what the people have to say.
Well, hey, what's happening? While we're waiting for our other friends to join, we've got 343 people right now, miners that are very eager to hear what the heck is going on in the world of TexitCoin. And I'll put it to you like this. There's no official rule book. There's no how-to guide on launching a real coin. There's lots of examples out there of how to do it like the shady way with a meme coin. That's not what TexitCoin is. It never was. It was never supposed to be. It's a real project. And so what we have as our instruction manual is what all the other guys did right and wrong. The mistakes that they made that we've learned from, the things that they did successfully, that we've also learned from. It's all we got. And so I took all of that stuff and I put it together in what we know and love as TexitCoin, right? But it's different. It's different at first glance. Where's your tokenomics? Where's your white paper? Where's all the stuff that the other guys say that you're supposed to have in order to do this kind of thing successfully? Good morning. Good morning. I've got lots of friends that are probably going to stop by on camera here at some point because we got 164 of our besties out here in Thailand.
Cool.
Anyway, no rule book on how to do this. And I don't want to go through everything that we've done that's different and unique about this project because we only have so much time. But what I do want to remind everybody of is the fact that we don't have a pre-mine. And what that means is that we didn't cook 1 trillion TXC up out of thin air and then like give it to our buddies and our like early adopters and some friends and family. Like we didn't have that. And when you eliminate that, not only do you get rid of the possibility or the likelihood of a pump and dump, but you also get rid of the liquidity that you need on the sell side to manipulate the price downward. And
Mhm.
I'll try to explain this with my jet lagged, no coffee yet, slept 1 hour, and a massive headache brain. But it goes like this. When you list yourself, like when we listed ourselves on our first exchange, which was dex-trade.com last May, basically, I'm going to pin myself here so I can I can tell my story. When we listed there, they said, look, we're glad to have you, pay the fee, we're going to put you on, and you are going to be required to keep your spread, the gap between the buyers and the sellers, at a very narrow, like 1% margin. So for example, let's say you want to list your coin for sale for $1. Well, if you're going to be offering it for sale for $1, then you need to be willing to buy it back for 99 cents. Good morning.
Mhm.
And so when you have unlimited tokens, a million, a billion, a trillion tokens that you've pre-mined or you've created out of thin air, it gives you the ability to sell, to list those in almost an unlimited amount for sale at that price. Let's say it's $1. And so now if somebody comes along and buys that coin for $1, you're able to buy that coin back for 99 cents. And now you've got a market and you've got that little teeny tiny 1% spread that the exchange requires that you have if you want to actually, if you want them to share your data with CoinMarketCap. And that's been a big challenge for us over the last couple of months because, or last year, I'd say a year and then some, because we're trying to get a CoinMarketCap verified listing. And in order for us to have a CoinMarketCap verified listing, we need to have multiple data sources sharing the data. And our best market is there on Dex-Trade, but they won't share our data with CoinMarketCap. And the reason is because our market gap, the gap between the buyers and the sellers is not 1%, it's more than 1%. Anyway, back to my story. When you cook up unlimited tokens out of thin air, you have the ability to manipulate the market much better, right? And so they said, we need to see your gap inside of this teeny tiny slim range for us to open up your data to CoinMarketCap. And I said, unfortunately, I don't have an unlimited amount of tokens, and so I'm not able to do that. I can come in there with a whole bunch of cash to support it on the buy side. But since I'm not the only one holding on to TexitCoin, and I don't have a bunch of TexitCoin pre-mined, and I can't force my TexitCoin miners to sell at any particular price, I can't put enough TexitCoin there on top, on the sell side, to keep the price down. And so if the price jumps up, the market's going to do what the market wants to do. Anyway, with my brain, I'm trying to get a coherent story out. It's not coming yet, but I'm going to tie it all together. I can feel it. The story's coming together. Anyway, so long story short is we've been battling with Dex-Trade for a long time to convince them that we would rather have an honest market than manipulate it to get them to open up the API, as they call it, to share our data with CoinMarketCap. What all that means is that I have been hoping and trying to the best of our ability to create a launch of TexitCoin that introduces us to the world, that gets people excited about it, but gives them an opportunity in an orderly manner to join us on our journey. And I've known from day one that the plan that we were using, that I designed, that we're using in order to get our product to market and stair step our way up to that $1 billion top 100 mark was only ever going to last for so long. I wrote that article, called it The Path to 16, and it's a great article. I encourage you to read it. It's almost a requirement of a TexitCoin miner because it's really, the map on how we get this thing to catch the attention of the world. But I've known all along that it's only going to be so long that we can keep this genie of ours in the bottle before it pops. I call it the cat out of the bag, or whatever analogy you want to use. But the point is that once the world figures out that TexitCoin is not a joke. It's not a meme coin. It's not a rug pull. It's not a pump and dump. It's not a pyramid. It's not a Ponzi. Once the world figures out and is reasonably convinced that we're not a scam, then the market's going to respond by evaluating where it thinks we're not where we are today, but where it thinks we're going to get into the future. It's just like any other, company out there that has a stock. The stock basically moves based on analyst predictions and company projections. And then when the earnings report come out, the stock adjusts based on whether they were right or they were low in their projection, or they were high. And so that's basically what we have. We have, this strategy to get us to $16 per Texit coin by February of 2026. And so if I say, look, guys, I'm fairly confident that we're going to get to $16 by February of 2026, the world goes, yeah, that sounds good, but it's kind of far-fetched. We don't really believe you. Then all of a sudden, a month or two or three or six go by, and they see that we're growing, and they see that we're bringing in record amounts of capital. I mean, I'll show you guys in a second here, but the money flow is incredible. And once the world becomes reasonably convinced that we're not messing around, the price is going to run. And that's going to be a day that we want to celebrate. And it's going to be a day that we go, oh, geez, now what?
Mhm.
And I believe that day is coming soon. And there are a lot of things that are going to usher in that time for us. Some of those things, I would say all of those things are within our control for the most part. If you factor in everything except for luck, we control this. We control how fast we're growing. We control the number of new miners that are coming in our community based on a lot of different things. We control it based on the price. We haven't touched the price of what it costs to join us as a miner. We control it with automation. If we were doing everything by paper and cash or check and, requiring people to like drive to McKinney to sign up in person to become a miner, like we could slow it down that way. We could, mess with the comp plan to make it less lucrative, eliminate some of the incentive to go out there and help us grow. So we could slow it down negatively if we wanted to. We haven't, we don't want to, but on the other side, we can't control, well, there's one more thing. We can control how much cash we put out into our actual marketing and promotion spend. And that's where we've got our friend Kristen, who's in charge of making sure that we put some of our money into work, into things that are going to develop a return for us. And that's only a small percentage right now. If you look at the cash we brought in last week, $6 million, 20% of that's supposed to go into marketing and promotion. What's that? 1.2 million? Is that right?
Yeah.
So that would be how much we were supposed to put in from last week. But of course, we don't want to. Why not? Because first of all, we want to save some of that for later. If we have to use all of that money just to fill the seats on the rocket ship, then that's a real ridiculous waste. But if we actually put that much money every week into marketing and promotion, then we're going to get to our goal way ahead of schedule. Okay, why does the schedule matter? A couple things. Number one, the miners that join that put their cash in are putting their cash into the mining program. And the mine results in the slow drip that gives them Texit coin every day. Well, that number now has been reduced all the way down to about 1 TXC per day or less. And that's, a drastic change from where we were a year ago, where if you joined, you're getting 30, 40, 50 Texit coin a day. And so, as that number is now where it is, you want as much time as possible to accumulate Texit coin before this thing pops. If you wake up tomorrow morning and Texit coin's at $3,000 a coin, you go, well, that's great, but I've only been in for one day and I've got, 1 TXC. Okay, yeah, I've done well and we're all excited now, but it would have been nice if I had my hands on, a couple thousand TXC. So our network only produces 95,000 new coins a day. And so over time, we're able to accumulate more and more and more TXC. So we want as much time as possible because we're in a TXC creation mode right now. We're in an accumulation strategy at the moment. The second thing is that we want our community to grow wide. We want to do things together to strengthen the bonds of our community. We just had an amazing time the other night with our friends Angelo and Melissa in Tampa. I mean, guys, there was energy in that room, that you can't find in crypto. No one's got it. We've got it. And the other day, Saturday night, it was in Tampa at the Enclave Motorsports racetrack. And we brought together a lot of people from a lot of different teams, and they got to know each other. Oh, I've seen you online. I've seen you in the chat. I met Val Sunshine. Is Val Sunshine on tonight's call? Where's Val Sunshine? Surely she's there. Here. Anyway, we met a lot of great people. We became friends. We're like getting out of the house, getting off the couch, coming out and meeting each other. And that's such an important thing that you need in order to create, a strong community. Guys that are held together more by the latest pump of the meme coin. That's what everybody else has. What we have are real people getting together in the physical world, breaking bread, sharing stories, looking each other in the eye, making new friendships. We've got 150, 160 of them on this trip to Thailand, to the other side of the world. And so we want time to allow those connections to happen again and again and again and again. And so we know that at some point this project's going to pop. And it's going to be a bittersweet time, because as the price goes up, 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 it attracts more people to our community. People go, well, geez, I want to mine TexitCoin too. I'm going to get $5, $6, $7, $10, $12 a day mining TexitCoin. I'm going to join. So when a lot of people rush in and join, our numbers spike, and that's good for us in terms of cash flow, in terms of our liquidity, in terms of our marketing budget and commissions and all that stuff. But it dilutes the mining output, so that now everybody that joined yesterday is getting a little bit less. Remember, we're competing against each other in this program. And so we know for sure that it's going to pop at some point. We know that the money that we're spending, the good money that we're putting out there with advertisers, with marketers, with vendors, is having a ridiculous impact. I mean, geez, guys, like the UPS guy should be the first one putting money into TXC. He's the guy that's stopping by the office every day and saying, man, when I came here a year ago, I was picking up 3 packages a day. Now I'm picking up 400 packages a day. So the vendors are the first ones to see this kind of inside information, and they're looking at it and they're saying, this is a hot project, and it's only getting hotter. Funny story about it, too. I was coming through the American Admirals Lounge yesterday, which you get to go into if you're the flagship lounge or something. It's like the one above the Admirals Lounge. If you're flying first class, international, you get to go into the flag whatever lounge. And there's a lady in there, it's real funny, I guess British lady. And we got to talking, and I'm helping her pour her mimosa because she's got an arm in a splint from something somewhere. What do you do, young man? I'm into crypto. Okay, I'm into crypto as well. Yeah, which ones? I don't know. My broker manages all that for me. He's the 3rd highest JP Morgan Chase man in the world, blah, blah, blah. She's like, well, which one are you into? And I said, I'm into Texit Coin. And we said our goodbyes and went our separate ways. And she waves to me on the way out. She said, I sent TXC to my broker, question mark on the end. He said, red hot. And that was the only thing that this guy said. And this is the 3rd highest guy at JP Morgan. And so, we're putting money out there, and the word is getting around, and it's starting to spread. And there's only so much that we can do to keep this genie in the bottle, the cat in the bag, as I say. And sooner or later, it's going to pop. And like I said, it'll be a bittersweet day, because that means a lot of exciting things. I'm looking at a picture of a board up somewhere on planet Earth right now, Tampa board at $4, which was yesterday's price, my friend. You need to keep up. Have you looked at the market today? Okay, $4 is gone now.
It's almost 80 cents off.
Yeah. And so look, we knew that this was going to happen. We want this to happen, but we want it to happen in the most orderly fashion as possible. Now, you can't take the word orderly and the word crypto and put them in the same thing. It's going to get to a point someday where it's out of our control, and we want that day to come. But remember, the more time we have to get there, the more TXC we accumulate, because our network is putting out 95,000 coins a day, 95,000 day in, day out. It makes 95,000 plus or minus coins. And so that's obviously the big thing to talk about right now, because the answer is no. We are involved in the market up to $3.79. We have accumulated enough liquidity that we decided as a leadership team is in $2 million of gold. That's our next liquidity pool. I'm going to prove that up in the next couple weeks because it's part of a strategy that I'll share with you at some point in the near future. But we got together with our leadership team. Now, quick pause for a second and let's talk about the leadership team. A lot of you have asked and begged and pleaded for a while. Can we do something so that if Falafel gets struck by a bus, that we're not on our butts? And the answer is yes and no. The answer is no because largely we're telling my story. You know, I've been around this thing for a long time. I gave a really great speech. I can't even tell you how great the speech was on Saturday night that I gave. Standing ovation, you know, people crying, weep. No, sorry. Let's not let my head get too big. But I gave a speech on Saturday night talking about how we got to where we are today. And I told them there are three things. We're going to come back to these three things in just a moment. The three things are transparency, which we hear again and again and again, authenticity, and network marketing. And these are interesting and strange bedfellows. We'll come back to it in just the next few moments. But the answer to how we got to where we are today is those three things. And one of them is authenticity. And authenticity is one of those things that you just cannot buy. You can't buy authenticity. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes years to develop a reputation. No one knows better than I do that a reputation takes a lifetime to build and a moment to destroy. I did it. 2013. All the goodwill that I've built up, well, it takes years to put this stuff together. And setting aside the mistakes that I made back in 2013, 12, 13 years ago, you know, we still get to look at the good things that I did in 2012 or 2008 and 2009. And it's that authenticity that has really gotten this project off to a good start. If you said Joe Blow over there, Mr. Nobody with a long list of failures behind him in crypto and network marketing, if you told him that, or you told us that he was starting some crypto deal, wouldn't get the traction that we had. We got off to a really great start because of the things that I've done over the years. But our biggest challenge is going to be our ability to move past that founder stage. You know, the stage where the founder says, these are the virtues and these are the basic principles at the core of our thing. I need to build those principles into each of my board of trustees, into each of my leaders, into each of my Lone Star Rangers, so that if something happens to me, we're able to continue to move forward on the same bedrock foundation that built us to the point where we are today. We call those people Lone Star Rangers today. We've got a bunch of Rangers. How many do we have now? 55, 60 Rangers. We're probably going to bring on another 30 or 40 Rangers. We had a Ranger, Road to Rangerhood training on Saturday in Tampa, led by Angelo. Look, we want leaders in this thing, and the leaders that rise all the way to the top, the guys that or gals that represent the virtues that have made us what we are today. We bump them up one more level and we call them Lone Star Rangers. Robbie Rue's a Lone Star Ranger. Tim Blake over there is a Lone Star Ranger. Am I pointing to you right now? For me, I'm pointing to you. We've got Jay Horton, we've got Chris Beck, we've got Eddie Allen. Am I missing anyone? Tell me I'm not missing
Johnny
anyone.
Bostic.
Johnny Bostic. These are guys that I would trust my life with, amongst other things. And I got together with the Lone Star Rangers and I laid out the plan for the next $2 million of liquidity. I got the green light, thumbs up. And so we move forward with that plan. But anyway, the point is that gave us the ability to get into the market and support it at $3.79. And that's, you know, another step towards our goal of 16. I found McKaylin. McKaylin's on our way back in.
Cool.
Who else is out there that I'm supposed to bring in? Hi, McKaylin.
Hello.
So we're involved in the market. Now, let me share my screen with us real quick so I can just show you what I'm talking about. And pay no attention to this this exciting, flashy screen that you see in front of you today. But anyway, I just logged into my our Dex-Trade account, and I'm not sure where we're at on coin market cap, but let's pull that up as well while we're here. Search for my favorite thing, Texit Coin. We're at $4.72 on coin market cap, which is pulling data exclusively right now from Bitmart. And then on Dex-Trade, we're at 473. So the markets are doing a great job of staying kind of in parity here. But we see that we've kind of done a little bit of a jump in the last day. And I want to show you guys, just so you know, let's take a look at our open orders. Scroll down here. Here are my open orders. I've got buy at 379, 379, 379. This is us. So I've got, I don't know how many TXC it is. Okay, so 10,000, 14,000, and another 20,000. So we got 34,000, 100 grand or so locked in there at 379. The market is fully $1 above that. I mean, you got to scroll pretty far down here to find my three. I'm not even on the chart anymore.
Wow.
Look at all these monster purchases above 379. $24,000 here. Good morning, my loud friends. I've got a microphone on that's hopefully cutting out some of the background noise, so be as loud as you want. People need to know how exciting it is here. All good. I got my friends K. Ross and Teresa over here hanging out at the beautiful Hilton Hotel in Bangkok. Anyway, so take a look. I mean, look at how much cash, $24,000 at 469, 12, another $1,000 there, another $1,000 there, thousand. There's just tens of thousands of dollars of additional liquidity in here. That's not me. We got another $30,000 right there at 412. So the market is really, really developing. If you go over here and look at it again on this side, I'm not even on this chart. We've got big buys here at 469. We've got bigger buys over here at 411, 412. So there's just a massive amount of buying pressure, and our buyers far outnumber the sellers. Now, we've got bigger problems than just this. We got bigger problems than just this because, number one, I put my foot in my mouth on a call a couple weeks ago, and I said 1, 2 free equals 100 TXC. Gaige made fun of me about that last night. He's like, "Look who's so stupid now. Check with me before you start running your mouth on these promotions." I'm like, "Eh." So I need to come up with probably close to $250,000, $1 million worth of Texit Coin in order to pay out that bonus. That hasn't hit the market yet. Number one. Number two, I don't know where our man is for commissions, but we have a lot of people that want TXC for a commission this week, and I've got to find that. I'm out of TexitCoin, guys. We've got way more buyers than sellers today. And at that speech in Tampa, I said, okay, how many people here by show of hands are TexitCoin miners? Half the hands in the room went up. Great. How many people here by show of hands have gotten your original money back? Most of the hands stayed up. Very few hands went down. How many people by a show of hands have sold some Texit Coin? Almost all the hands went down. I said, guys, this is a problem. This is a problem. We don't have enough sellers. We don't have enough sellers. I know it sounds hard to believe, but the problem we have is we've got a lot of people that are extremely confident in the future of our project. You're looking at the charts and the data the same way that I am. And so I'm prying Texit Coin out of hands. I mean, if you remember, our plan was to come over here to Asia and introduce Texit Coin to our friends and offer them the ability to pick up big handfuls of Texit Coin at a 20%, 25% markup. We're at that number now. And there's huge amount of buying interest at that new price. So we can't offer Texit Coin to our friends over here anymore at that price. And so at some point, the cat is going to get out of the bag. Okay. Now, look, I want to give our community some advice. And I've never done this before. I don't think I've ever done this before. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'd like to encourage our community to find ways to get hands on TXC. If you just joined yesterday, you put your $1,000 in, Great. Welcome to our community. Thank you very much. We want you to be a miner. A miner is somebody that's helping drive us towards our goal of the largest privately owned decentralized mine in the world. That's a very important goal. A miner is somebody that's helping build our community of people that have an incentive, a long-term incentive for the success of our project. We want you to have a long-term incentive. A miner is somebody that's tuned into our education resources, plugged into our community, learning from other people that are out there. So there's a lot of advantages to being a miner. A miner is somebody that's got access to the 1-2 frees and the rapid rewards comp plan. So there are a lot of great benefits to becoming a miner. If somebody says to me today, hey, I want to put $2,000 in, what's the right way to do it? I'd say, well, you definitely want to help crowdsource this mine. You definitely want to be a miner. That gets you a seat at our table. But you also want to get your hands on some TXC because we don't know if or when this thing's going to pop. We don't want you to say, man, I just put $1,000 in yesterday and I got no TXC to show for it. So I would like to encourage our miners to get your hands on some TXC. Now, there are two ways to do it. Number one, you can buy it. That's not particularly easy anymore because we disabled the ability to purchase TXC in the back office. That was a really easy way to do it before. Now that feature is coming back around soon because the developers are recoding it so that when you buy it in the back office, it buys it off the open market. Because right now we've just been selling out of our own inventories, but our inventories are depleted and we're out. And so what it'll do is it'll grab it off the open market, okay, which is going to put more and more and more pressure on the price to go that way. That's all right. We'll deal with that and we'll let the price do what the market wants the price to do. But the other way to get your hands on some TXC is to earn it. Okay. We want to see you earning more mining seats. We want to see you earning Texit Coin. We also want to see you earning cash. Cash puts, money in your pocket that you can use to pay the mortgage, get caught up on the credit card bills, put the addition on the house. So it's up to you. But we're at a point now where you can still 1,000x your money on TexitCoin, no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. That opportunity is still there, but now you got to earn it. Now you got to work for it. You can't buy that anymore unless you're coming at this deal with a big, big pocket full of cash. It's going to be difficult for anybody based on the limited amount of supply that we have. It's going to be difficult for anyone to acquire enough TexitCoin for that big 1,000x return unless you're able to roll up your sleeves and help us build and grow. If you acquire some TexitCoin through the reward program, or you acquire more mining power through the reward program and build up your TXC reserves, I'm not telling you got to go out and buy TexitCoin. What I'm telling you is I want you to be prepared for our exciting future. And guys, it's getting exciting. Now, I want to pause there for a few moments. I want to do a quick update from the people on our team that have been gracious enough to share not just their days with us, not just their Saturdays with us, now their nights with us as we keep our community of miners in the loop on what's happening. And then I'll come back to me in a few minutes and tell you what else is on my mind and give you my opinion. But like I said, guys, I'm not telling you to go out and buy. I'm telling you to earn. Telling you to keep an eye on TexitCoin. It's getting very, very exciting. I see it firsthand. I see it real time. I bring back my knowledge, my insight, my perspective to these calls to share it with you first, unscripted, direct from me, for better or worse. I'm going to tell you, we had a story the other night about how I had too much to drink and gave out $140,000 of bonuses. I'm going to tell you about how I had too much coffee yesterday on the airplane and spent $480,000 on something else, which ended up not being a scam, which is really great. It's even better when you put that kind of money out there and it ends up not being a scam. So I'm going to come back to those stories in just a moment. But McKaylin, do you want to give us a quick update on what's happening in the realm of all things enrollment and customer service?
Sure.
Tell us what's happening.
So this week, our customer service team started fully on their own. Obviously, they still have questions and stuff, but they fully started on the emails on their own. And while they're doing that, we're also training another group of Texit Ranger support people. So hopefully by next week, all the easy stuff will be done by all of the new people that we've hired. And so then me and Landon can handle the harder stuff.
Tell me about what happened last Saturday, because I feel like enrollment had a bit of a record this past Saturday.
last Saturday when we like this past Saturday whenever we were on a private jet. I mean a private plane.
No, here's what's funny. I bet you don't look at the numbers anymore. I don't look at the numbers anymore. I know the numbers are good. I glance at them from time to time as I pat ourselves on the back. But you had a record-breaking enrollment day. 574 miners joined us this past Saturday, which is unreal. Did you ever think that I warned you that someday we're going to be signing up 100 a day? Multiply that by 5.74, and you will experience the mayhem that was past Saturday. But it wasn't mayhem, was
Yeah.
it?
Well, at this point, it's kind of like you expect it to keep growing. There for a little bit, it was exciting. It's still exciting, but at this point, it's what you expect. But back in the day, when I was working by myself, no, I did not expect it whatsoever. I thought we were going to continue to get 2 people a day.
How old are you? Tell us how old you are.
I'm about to be 23 in less than a month.
You're 22. And what kind of car do you drive?
I don't want people to know what kind of car I drive.
Give us like a general description.
A 2025 Mercedes Benz.
Do you feel like
GLE
you've earned it?
63.
Do you feel like
Yes.
you've risen to the occasion?
Yes, I do.
You know, there's a funny thing about money. You give money to somebody that doesn't deserve it and it destroys them. You give money to somebody that works hard, and if the man rises to his money, then it makes something really great. And I think that you're really great.
Thank you. I
Keep
love
working
helping.
hard. Keep
this
holding this
mission.
rocket of ours together. Thank you very much for canceling your trip to be out here with us in Thailand to train people, to
I think I need to get out of the Thailand chat because I'm starting to regret my decision.
well, I have no problem with that, and I'm thinking that you're going to find yourself again on another PJ, taking you and your girls down to Cabo for a little trip once I get back and the dust settles on this thing, to give yourself a little bit of a break. So thank you. I think you're great. Keep up the great work.
Thank y'all.
Who else we got over there, Robbie Brew? Who else is helping hold this rocket of ours together?
Kristen's probably foaming at the mouth to go. She's got to
I did
sell
have one
wigs.
question. I did
What?
have one question before Kristen starts, my favorite person. In the chat, someone's asking whenever the promotion, the September promotion is gonna be paid out. I'm assuming that we're gonna wait until the end of September to gather all of that information on a spreadsheet to pay out.
Are you
Question mark?
talking about the 1, 2 free, get 100 TXC free?
Yes.
We're gonna start to pay it out sooner rather than later. We just need to dial in the reports, because I'm gonna be in a jam getting that TXC. And some people might have to like settle for wrap Texit Coin, because I got like 500,000 wrap Texit Coin, well 400,000 wrap Texit Coin. So if you're savvy enough to be messing around in the wrapped Ethereum section, then I might need some volunteers to take WTXC as their reward. It's just as good as regular TXC, but no, we're going to try to pay them out sooner rather than later, because it's going to be mayhem if I have to go pick up 300,000 TXC on the open market.
Yeah, it's also gonna be really terrible when we have a million emails of people who didn't get their 100 things.
Let us do all we can to avoid that kind of situation that we've gotten ourselves into plenty of times before. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to stick around and have a great Tuesday night. Kristen, are you
Yeah, so-
large on your screen, or is it just mine?
I'm here. Can
Tell
y'all
us
see
what's
me?
happening in the realm of marketing and promotion.
All right. Well, we got the balloon. The Plano Balloon Festival is on Thursday. It starts Thursday, goes through Sunday. So I've been getting all that stuff together, all the promo for it, and all the
That's here
presents.
now.
Yeah.
I thought it was in like 6 months.
No, it's Thursday. So
Wow.
about that, I'm going up in the balloon on Thursday. I'm kind of nervous about that.
You're going
but
up in the balloon? You're taking the first
I'm
ride?
getting the test ride.
Oh, no.
Like I said before, if I die, I died for Texit Coin.
It's the same for me. It's the same for me.
At this point. I have some pretty cool stuff. So over the weekend, you guys were in Tampa, and I ended up getting a text message from a special somebody. His name's Alexander Kariba, and he is an Indy driver, an Indy race car driver. for the 2026, I actually had a meeting with him today. Yeah, he wants us to sponsor him on his entire tour for 2026.
And
So
how
this
much
would,
is that going to cost us?
I'm getting that information on Wednesday. He's sending the
Okay.
deck to me. But they also
Hopefully
said they
it's
would,
less than $1,000.
I don't know. But we were talking today and kind of, they said they would curate a package that would work for us. It's not so much like a, platinum, gold, silver plan. Like they can actually take things out, add things in, and kind of, he saw the Lotus in Tampa.
Yeah.
That's what, so, and then he reached out to Hayden on social media, and then it was passed down to me. So
Angelo. Keep going.
So we would be on the 18-wheeler, we would be on the race car, we would be on the fire suit, we would be on the crew, all the crew that would be working, and then also the pit box branding. So the big box with the pit. So, and this would be going all over like a huge tour. So it's a street race tour.
So let me pause you real quick. This is Texit Ranger Angelo. It's
Hi.
probably
What's up,
not the
Angelo?
newest Ranger anymore, but he's definitely the most aggressive one. We had to like bend all the rules to get Angelo rangered up instantaneously. Fortunately, I know some people in high places around here, but Angelo wanted to do this big event at the Motor Enclave in Tampa, which is a beautiful world-class racetrack. And he's been on me. We have to do an event here, have to do an event here, have to do an. I'm like, Angelo, how much is it going to cost for us to do an event there? What did it cost? What did we pay?
26,000 for 2 events.
Wait, that's 2 events? I thought that was just for one.
For 2. No, for 2.
Does that include the bottles of water?
No.
It was like an extra $8,000 tab for water service. It's like, oh, you want ice water for your guests? 8,000. But it's a beautiful track, beautiful facility. It's just high net worth people in there. The number of GT3 RSs that were like whizzing by us while we were in there is like a record. And so, I was a little concerned at first because we want to be careful with our spending. We want to make good decisions. And, what I forget sometimes is that, first of all, you got to spend money to make money. And second of all, we want to keep putting our image, our brand in these kind of places because it attracts that kind of talent, that kind of interest. If you're, hanging out, doing your thing down at the Hojo, you're being economical, you're being wise about spending our money. Everyone brings their own bag of potato chips in for their snack. That's okay. But when we splash the pot and we're able to get ourselves at places, I mean, the facility is just first class, absolutely beautiful. Angelo drove his brand new Lotus in there, all wrapped. They had a turnstile there inside the front door, so the car's just sitting there, rotating like a trophy winning
It was
car.
so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well, he noticed it and got a hold of me very quickly, like that night.
But he had
So,
signs on going the whole way in. Like we just felt like royalty going into this place. So not only was it the right venue for our brand, for our image, for our project, but it was put together well, it was managed well. They professionally DJ'd the whole thing. I mean, just a first class event and experience. Thanks to this guy right here and Melissa.
Great job, Angelo. Great
And
job.
Mitchell brought some people out. Jim Carrey brought some people out. Terry Tiller brought some people out. There's a bunch of other people that brought people out. So thank you to all those guys. But man, we're talking about doing all the right things to continue to go to the next level. So when we're watching the price start to take off and we're like, oh, we don't understand what happened. What is it that we're doing? We don't get it. Why is this thing so red hot right now? No. We know exactly why it's red hot right now. Now, like I said before, we're not going out of our way to do the wrong things. We have to continue to do the right things, but we know that if we continue to do the right things, it's only a matter of time before the thing pops and this thing is gone. And like I said, that'll be a bittersweet day. So I wanted to just publicly say thank you to my friend Angelo. You've done an incredible job.
Thank you guys. And thank you to the miners because we couldn't have done this without everybody. So, all ships rise with the tides. And so, because things are moving into momentum, this was a dream come true for all of us, for sure.
Well, a couple things about that. First of all, we had a packed house there, but we have another event there on November 8th. Now, November 8th is going to be different because November 8th, we've got the whole entire facility to ourselves. Right. We've got the downstairs area, we've got an upstairs area. It's really a great facility. We've got room there for what, 1,200 people?
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I just said, man, this place is awesome. And we're going to throw a party there. We've got a Florida problem that I mentioned. We've got probably the biggest community now growing is in Florida. I liked Angelo's car so much that I just bought one, Lotus, brand new. I haven't even picked it up from the dealership yet. But I said, instead of grabbing this car and bringing it back to Texas and giving it away at the Formula One event that we've got going on in Austin, why don't we leave this car here in Florida, get it wrapped, and give it away to somebody in Florida on November 8th? So that Lotus is staying there, Robbie Roo. We got to take that off the list.
Okay.
Another when I opened my big mouth and had some fun. But look, we're gonna fill the house there. We're gonna have 1,200 people there, standing room only. And here's the fun thing about TexitCoin, right? Here's the fun thing about having it, whatever it is, we've got it. If the Bitcoin bros threw a party at the Motor Enclave, they'd charge you $1,000 a head to get in. Our party is going to be free for anyone that wants to go. And it's going to be the party of crypto in Tampa. Now, if you're a miner, you'll have access to the second floor VIP section, where we'll have over the top stuff going on up there, right? But this is what you can do when you've got it. You don't have to charge $1,000 a head. We've got so much momentum and so much excitement. We don't have to charge anybody to come to our party. We've got a big tent. We've got room for everyone on this rocket, right? So come on out November 8th. Join us back at the Motor Enclave in Tampa. If you'd like to join us and become a miner before then, great, please do. This call is only for miners, by the way, so hopefully you're already a miner. But if you want to bring guests out, tell them to come out, discover what it's like to be part of a community that's got it, right? Where we're not jacking the price up every 3 days to create artificial scarcity to make you think that we've got it, and we really don't. When you got it, you can open the doors up, invite people in to have a great time, and you see consistently, time and time again, we're 1, 2, 5, 10xing the return because we're not driving people to sign up. We're not pushing them to buy stuff they don't want to do. We're just showing them what we have. We're sharing our story with them. They're coming out, they're joining us, and they're doing it because they want to, not because somebody's scaring them into doing it through FOMO, right? So that's a basic principle of our project. That's what you have with honest money, right? That's what honest money is all about. You don't have to scare people into doing something that that they may otherwise not be interested in doing. Come join us at the Enclave. Thanks to my friend Angelo, and let's make some more friends in crypto and in TexitCoin with that. So anyway, so having said all that, back to you. Stick around as long as you like. Tell us what else you got going on from your, but that's
Okay.
the reason I shared that story is because that's how we met this IndyCar driver. He sent us a message, and it got to me from Hayden, our social
Yeah.
media guy, and Hayden said he sends me this.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the same guy?
Yeah. Yeah. I was on a call with him all day. Not all day, but
Oh,
for a while.
there you go. So he's
Yep.
a up and coming driver, and he wants us to sponsor him. Now, don't forget the rules. We don't do entry level sponsorships. We don't do the silver or bronze package.
Oh, I know. I know. The crazy thing is that as we're getting bigger, and when I first started, it was like I could grab anything I wanted and but now I'm getting these huge offers and like I'm having to pick. I want them all, but like at the same time, I'm having to now pick and be really careful with what I'm choosing because I've got so many big opportunities and I'm just like sitting here like, what do I do? But it's good.
Well,
It's a
remember,
good
you've got a budget. Your job
Yeah,
is to evaluate how to best use the budget. We're capping your budget. What's your budget at now?
1.35. So
1.35 million per month, which is an insane amount of money.
yeah, for sure.
We're talking about $1.35 million. And that's just what we have in the budget from last week. Remember, we're trying to stockpile the majority of this cash so that we can
Yeah.
use it later for all of the ridiculous stuff that we really want to do. And
Mm-hmm.
so you're spending a lot of money. I was walking through DFW airport to catch my flight, and the ad hit me out of nowhere, and I wasn't expecting it. I'm like, oh, TexitCoin.
Was it
Like,
everywhere? Everyone tells me it's like,
$239,000 a month on this advertising. I shouldn't be surprised when I actually see it for the first time, but there I was.
yeah, it's pretty neat. So on Friday, I've got a kickoff meeting with Tilted Chair with the entire team that's going to be working with us. So we'll be coming up with new advancing our marketing and branding and just kind of coming together and brainstorming. So that's really exciting. What else? I have a follow-up meeting with the stars next on the
Hey, let me
23rd.
stop you real quick. Let me stop you. Stop you. I just want to add one more thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how long the people have been around that are on this call. Most of them are new. We got 568 people right now. But I have a story that I tell about when we took one of our first Freedom field trips out to the Bitmain World Digital Mining Summit conference in Las Vegas. We rented out the pool cabanas. And we had, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 people out there. And the waitress came up to me afterwards. She said, "You got a really great community here. I do these things all day, every day. And there's always a group of people sitting around talking trash on the owner and his wife and this and that and picking sides and who's who and all that stuff. I heard zero of that here today. Zero. That never happens." And I said, "Man, that's a really cool thing." The exact same thing happened at the Motor Enclave. They came up to us afterward. They said, "What are you guys doing here? This is weird. We've never seen this kind of energy and enthusiasm and excitement in our room before. Normally, there's always some little group of people off to the side that are plotting their coup, figuring out how they're going to take over, and none, zero."
No, as a matter of fact, Quay said, usually I'm able to pick out the bad apples in every group, and there was no bad apples. As a matter of fact, half of the staff are now miners. Yes, and thanks to Annika and all her hard work, she got them all signed up.
That's awesome.
This is the
So-
abundance mentality. This is what you get when you've got a great thing and you share it open and honest with anyone and everyone. "Oh, you're not rich enough for us. Oh, you're not cool enough." No, no, no. This is something for everybody. This is a second chance for all of us. Not just to get in on a crypto deal, but to make friends, to be part of a community that's doing something fun. Anyway, sorry for interrupting. I just want to throw that in there before I forgot.
You're fine.
Back to you.
No, it's
Back to
exciting.
Tilted Chair.
It's really fun. Yes, Tilted Chair. So I have a kickoff meeting with them on Friday. So I will be meeting with our team that we're going to be working with on a regular, and we're going to be going over brainstorming what we want, what we need, and stuff. So I'll get more details on that after that meeting. It's about
Now,
a
this is a
3-hour.
creative agency that's supposed to come up with new ideas for us so that when you walk through the DFW airport, you're not seeing the logo animation that shows that we're at $1. We're at $1.
We're at 23 cents. Celebrate.
Yeah. So they're going to come up with new creative ideas for us. But this is a double-edged sword in DFW because we had a meeting with our ad rep from the DFW airport company that said they're trying to pull our ads.
They did.
And I said,
They're
They said, "Look,
jealous.
it's not you. They just don't want anything political. They want travelers walking through there and just seeing credit cards and travel and, vacation services. That's it. They don't want to see political stuff." And I said, "Well, we're not really political, but we do understand that when you say Texit, it kind of, gets an image in people's minds that may not be exactly, something that's apolitical." But I said to her, I said, "Look, if they pull it, they pull it. It's okay." To be honest, I'm blown away that you guys are advertising crypto related stuff at all in the first place. So every time somebody goes, "Sure, we'll advertise your crypto coin," I go, "Well, that's amazing. We'll bring it on." So if you pull it, you pull it. We take the bad on the chin and we keep going. And so we're honored that you're going to run our ad as long as you decide to do that. But she said every time you change your creative, it has to go back in front of the DFW Airport Advertising Board of Directors, and they get to vote as to whether or not they want it. So change it as infrequently as possible for the least amount of drama with the approval process. I said, "Well, look, we've got other things. We've got the Downtown Digital Dollars program, which is all about local communities, and maybe that's what we switch over our advertising strategy to once the layer 2 goes live." So we've got opportunities. But hey, look, we're going to take the good as long as it presents itself. We're not going to fight real hard if somebody says that they don't want to do business. I mean, we've been working with KRLD for a while now, trying to get their legal department to approve it. We've said it 100 times, guys, it's all good. If you don't want to do it, we'll spend our marketing dollars somewhere else. We don't take it personally. Crypto is weird. Crypto is full of scams. Crypto is slimy. We get it. It's okay. But hopefully you and Tilted Chair can come up with some new ideas to give us a fresh spin on getting people interested in learning more about cryptocurrency and, of course, about TexitCoin.
Yep. So I'm really excited. I'll have more information about that next week. But other than that, that's pretty much all I have for this week.
Kristen,
good
there's
job.
one question. How can we see who we have sponsorships with, like TCU and those you mentioned last week, etc.? That's from Val
Wait,
Sunshine.
what did they say?
How can
How
we
do we know? What
see
are we
the
spending our money on?
sponsorships?
Prove it.
Okay, so a lot of it is the sponsorships with the radio stations, but you can also get on the sports page and for the actual UT Sports, and we are actually on that. There's an icon that has our name and everything on it. So
Hey,
But,
this week, Kristen, the answer to the question is
get
I
with
need you to
Becca.
get your head together with Becca, and I
Yeah.
need a quick page to come together fast to
Okay.
showcase what we're doing. Give us some links. I mean, look, we've been on the KLBJ radio show. They've got that show archived, Crypto Rich.
Yeah.
And like, we should have a link to those archives. If you're out there talking to somebody and you say, hey, look, hear it from the founder, let's hear his perspective on this thing. And it's the most, educational component that you can put in front of them on a mainstream radio station with their top DJ. And if that's not linked somewhere where people can find it, then it doesn't exist. So we have to get in front of that this week. Grab Becca, build a page, balloons and airport ads and billboards. I mean, $1.35 million a month goes really, really, really far.
I talked to
And
her this morning
we
too.
need to give our community a page, a repository, an index of those things so that they can go there and go copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, and share that with their communities as well.
Perfect.
I'm
I
looking
will get
forward
it.
to seeing the page you put together when I come back a week from today.
Are you excited to come
Or
back
else.
already?
No, I'm excited to be here in Thailand. I'll be joining you from Hua Hin from the beach in a week. But anyway,
Sweet.
thank you for the update. Really appreciate you being here. Thanks for sharing your evening with us. And we will speak to you again soon. Stick around as long as you like.
Okay.
Rue, what else do we got here?
I'm here to cover finance a little bit, and then I'll let Gaige and Tim jump on.
Yeah, give
But
us
like
some-
you
give us the
mentioned,
basics.
6.41 million in revenue. Happy to report 2.91 million paid out in commissions. And so we had close to $1 million in USDC go out. We had 1.3 in BOGO.
Now, just so everybody knows, that hasn't been paid yet, right?
Yeah.
I haven't paid it yet. I was
Yeah.
flying. I've been busy for the
Yeah.
last 30 hours.
Well, you're pretty consistent, so I'll just spot you that one. And then
Get a pass.
some lucky people got 260,000 of TXC, which is quite the win in their lives, right?
Well,
So
and another thing about that real quick, I want to mention that if you have your commission default set to TXC, I will give you Saturday night's price. If you were waiting for TXC for your commission, I'll give you the price when commission ran. Okay, I always do that. You may not do the math on it, but I do. And so that's the policy. If you switch later, like the email goes out, it says, hey, you've qualified for commission. You're going to get it in USDC. Here's your address. Click this angry button if this is not your address. Or if you'd like it in cash powered, click here. If you'd like it in TXC, click here. If you click that button, I'll give you whatever it is when I get around to paying out the commission. But if you have your commission default set to TXC, I will give you last Saturday night's price, which is what? $500,000 million less than where we are right now. And guys, look, I'll do that every week, week in, week out. If you have your commission default set to TXC, I'll give you the Saturday price for TXC. Back to you, Rue.
Yeah, super awesome. Miner of the weeks have been getting paid. So reminder, if you're miner of the week, you will earn $5,000.
Who's the miner of the week this week, by the way?
Oh, I think it might be the guy showing off camera. Gaige, do you want to take a quick bow before we get to you?
Hey, another thing too, we went back and we found all the people that qualified for the 9+ in 1 week, and we paid out those commissions as well.
Correct. And then some good news, the supernova bonus, or the supernova, however we're calling it, that's mostly integrated into the system. And so we should have an email that flies out to let people know they've hit it. And then obviously another big clue is 6,000 instead of 3,000. So that's good stuff, right?
Wait, 6,000 for what?
Like when you supernova and you commission out a second time, you're getting your 3 and 3.
So yeah, but we got to work on some terminology here because
Yeah.
we're pissing some people off, and that's on me. That's my bad. So when you get 9 points left, 9 points right, we call that going supernova, but it's not. It's not. I was lying. It was
Right.
just a joke. That's maxing out the rapid rewards program. Going supernova is maxing out the comp plan instantaneously
Mhm.
after the week rolls over to the new week. So I got to fix that. So guys, that's
Yeah.
on me. If you misunderstand because of the erroneous language that I've been cooking up, that's on me. We're not going to do anything special for you because we're not like Walmart and we can't be like, oh, mistaken last Tuesday's circular means you get $1 million for free. But Supernova is maxing out instantaneously after the week starts. And that is now a $3,000 bonus, right? It's a big bonus, guys. It's a big bonus. It means you can double up. And we have people that are now supernovaing on 3 spots.
Wow.
Um,
It's good stuff.
So not only are they making 9,000 a week and maxing out the comp plan, they're making 9,000 a week in additional bonuses. It's really cool stuff. So
Yep.
my bad on the terminology mess up. We'll get that corrected in the documentation. But congratulations to the people that are supernovaing, and congratulations to the guys out there like Gaige, who are a miner of the week and taking a $5,000 bonus on that one as well.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
What else you got?
We ordered 60 L9s for a price of $420,000 ish.
Hey, maybe we
And,
didn't. Maybe we didn't. So the vendor reached out to me and said, don't buy this week because the
Mm.
price is coming down next week. Wait. And so we've already ordered more equipment than we need. And so normally Saturday night, we're placing that next order, but the market's in a little bit of flux right now because Bitmain's coming out with a new unit. So they said, give it a week, hold off on buying. We're not in any rush right now because we've got more than enough units right now to fill up the first container. The next 2 containers arrived as well. I don't know if we've got a lot of pictures of that to share, but I'll see if we can track some down. But we've got more than enough right now to completely cover what we have installed. So they said, just wait because prices are going to drop, or we'll be able to buy the new model. So we didn't buy that yet. Again, that's on me, guys. It's not a cash flow thing. It's simply we have the ability to be a little bit flexible now because of the advantageous position that we're in with the vendors,
Mhm.
but we didn't actually pay for that yet.
Okay. Those are the U2s, right? The new ones?
The
U2 L9 H system.
Yes, that's what we're
Okay.
hoping to buy. But here's the thing, right? We bought 4 of the BC40 shipping containers. Technically, we bought 3 BC40s and 1 MW1 something. They're all basically the same. The MW1 is a naked version of it that goes inside, not outside. And so with those 4 and the B24 and the B24 and the B48, we have the ability to sink 896 L9s into the soup. So we need to have 896 L9s. Once we fill up those 4, then we switch over to the new stuff, right? So again, we don't want to fight the rest of the industry as these new products are coming out. We want to step back, let the industry fight itself, do the old thing because that works great for us, and then we'll step up once the prices cool down and get into the next strategy. But that's because we have the ability to drop 4 full containers worth 200 L9s per container.
Yep. Yep.
Back to you.
So all good. I don't know if you want to give everybody a reminder on TXC with precious metals and the fact that we would like to have precious metals in hand prior to issuing TXC.
Well, that's definitely a requirement, but the bigger requirement is that we're not going to lock your order unless we say the word lock, right? So this is a pretty standard thing from the precious metals industry. Hey, I want to buy some coins. Well, that's great. Well, what's the price? Well, the price is about this. Okay. Sounds good. I'll get back to you. You can't hit us up in 3 months and be like, hey, I kicked the tire about buying some TXC when it was $1.27. Can I get that price now? No. If you say lock and we say lock and we all agree that we've got an order, number 1, it's an order. Number 2 is we're expecting your payment within like 24 hours, right? We don't want to see ourselves in a position where you're coming back to us in court later saying, well, I thought I bought 7,000 million worth of Texit Coin when it was 2 pennies and they didn't send it to me. Like, we need a formal procedure to actually lock this thing in,
Yeah.
to keep ourselves out of hot water later when this thing gets even more exciting than it is today. So be really, really careful when you're locking. Okay, unless we say it's a done deal, it's not a done deal. If you shipped off some
Right.
silver to a guy that we know somewhere, that's not a done deal. We can't
Right.
be responsible for anyone and everyone wanting TXC but not paying for it. So let's be really
Right.
cautious with that as the market heats up, and we'll come up with more formal procedures to deal with it. But at the moment right now, we got to tread very carefully because we have an extremely limited supply and or no supply whatsoever. And the market is fire red hot, as the third highest person at JP Morgan Chase has said.
Oh,
I got
it's
a
doing
question.
great.
What's your question?
So the 54s, where are we at? Can we, you know, I've heard some rumors that we got to slow down on the 54s. What's going on? Because we do need the coins, right?
I don't think we need to slow down. We just need to have a more formal procedure on same thing, locking the price. Okay, we got a guy that wants a 54. Great. Okay, here's the price for the TXC. Here's the payment for the TXC where they need to send that payment. And again, same thing, that payment's got to get in there in an orderly fashion, because what's happening now is we're taking that money and we're buying the Texit coin off the open market. And so if we're not able to do that immediately because we don't have the cash for it, then they come back in 3-4 weeks. Well, I paid for it, you know, a couple days ago, and then the price has doubled since then. That puts us in a real tough position. So we want to service the community, but also we don't want to get ourselves in a position where we lose a ton of money by bending over backwards doing something that we may not absolutely need to do for the growth of our project. So it's
Yep.
all about coordination, and we don't have an official policy in place yet to deal with it. So let's take them very, very carefully, because we're moving big amounts of money now. And people are going to get angry fast if they missed out on a $2 or $3 price point when this thing's at $57. So we just
Right.
need to tread carefully moving forward into the future.
Right.
One
And then
one thing to
also
add
from
right there,
finance. Oh, go ahead, Gage.
with the 54 packs, one thing for miners out there, if they're selling them, is always go to your upline, always go to your ranger to try to communicate and get those prices locked and everything. Right, Bobby? That I think would be the best option instead of trying to send emails or go to the back office and stuff like that.
Correct. Thank you. Anything else,
Right.
Rue, or is it Gaige or Tunity?
I'll give it to Gage here in 1 second. So finance just wanted to remind everybody that's doing peer payments to please stay up with their peer payments and don't be too late with them. You know, it's a very
guys,
generous.
this is a really, really big deal. This is a really big deal, and I want to talk about it because it matters. We're getting into a strange new place where we're moving a lot of money around. Back in the early days, there was $1,000 Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, here or there. I mean, Rob, you've got a story about a friend from your church.
Yeah. Yeah. So
What happened there?
I tell him about it. And of course it's funny. I'm like, yeah, this is great. No, forget it. No, don't do it. Yeah, get in. So I didn't know if he actually got in. He told me he was going to get in, and I didn't know that he actually did it. And so one day I'm at the church and I'm in a TXC wrapped exotic, just happened to be, it was a timing thing. And I said, hey, you got to come see this nonsense I'm driving out here. And so he comes out and looks, and he sees Texit Coin all over. And he goes, Texit Coin? He goes, I thought that was a scam. And I go, no, dude, it's legit. I'm like, this is really awesome. He goes, well, I bought in. And I'm like, wait, when? And he goes, last October. And so anyway, I said, well, do you have a receipt? I said, do you have the receipt? He goes, yeah. And so he shows me the credit card receipt at that time. And sure enough, you know, and like you did very well, Bobby, you made it right. And we owed him like 7,000 coins or something like that. And so he was thrilled to death. So we made it right. It wasn't a scam, and he's super happy, and he's inviting all kinds of people.
How awkward is that, though, going into church with him just looking at you with disdain the whole time? And he's like, yeah, this guy's driving a 911 and I got scammed.
Yeah, no, I said, why didn't you say anything? And he's like, well, I just thought I got scammed for $1,000. I'm like, okay, sure, why not?
We live in a world today where people are so complacent about getting scammed. It says something sad about our current state of affairs. No, it is not a scam. Sometimes we do make mistakes. And, you know, guys, look, we talk about money and profitability. And one of the things that's so good about this project is that it's profitable. And what profitability means is that we always get to do the right thing. When you're so broke, making $1 a coin, selling silver rounds, and you lose a UPS package, oh my gosh, it almost puts you out of business. But when you have a product that is going well and the project is successful and you're profitable and you're not sitting there, you know, worried about cash flow and making payroll every week, it becomes extremely easy to do the right thing. And I'd like to
Mhm.
think that I'm a good guy and I would do the right thing at any cost every time. The reality of the situation is that, you know, let's not ever find out if that's the case. Let's just keep running profitably so that if we have
Mhm.
problems come up from time to time, we can make them right. But it's really easy to follow through and do the right thing when you're doing well. And I want you guys to understand that that's what we have. We have a very successful project that's doing well for me. It's doing well for Angelo. It's doing well for Rob. It's doing well for Gaige and Tim. It's doing well for a lot of people in our community. I haven't heard a single, can't believe I fell for that garbage story yet. You know, somebody asked me the other day, like, do you do refunds? I'm like, no, not, we don't, you know, because we don't mind buying somebody out of a coin, but, you know, points are awarded, commissions are paid, and we don't want to get in a habit where everyone's just signing up 50 people, getting their miner of the week bonus, and then, you know, backing all those people out next week to, you know, to game the system. So, but the reality is that we only want people that are really happy and excited to be on the rocket ship. And so, you know, we want to do the right thing. We want to do it even when people aren't looking. We want to do it, you know, regardless. But having a business that's successful that enables us to do the right thing has been a real great gift. And so, let's continue to do everything we can to make it as easy as possible to do the right thing and not get ourselves caught up in problems and mistakes that may end up being extremely costly down the road.
Yep. Yep. So other than that, you can tell Kira that Luna is doing wonderful. The building is not on fire, and everything's going great. So I'll turn it over
I
to
heard
Gaige.
you were able to stop a Starbucks run in its tracks the other day,
Yes, yes. Yeah, about
and you got
9:20 a.m. Hey, we need to go to Starbucks. Hey, how about we work since we're here and we do the Starbucks before work? So yeah, that was good.
yeah, and our garage full of exotics are safe and sound now that we've got 24-hour security at the HQ.
Yes, yeah, yep. That's doing
And
well.
guys,
I secured
please
a
don't
Ford Raptor
stop by.
today.
Please don't
Yeah.
stop by without a scheduled appointment at the office.
Yes, please.
We're not really in a position yet with reception and all that stuff where you can schedule or stop by unannounced. So please, please, please respect our procedures now. We need to keep our facility safe. We need our people that are there to feel comfortable. The people aren't just going to wander into the office and walk through and make themselves at home any day of the week. So please, if you need to stop by, schedule an appointment with whoever it is that you need to meet with and help keep our building secure.
Yeah. Yeah. But I
Thanks,
hope you
Will.
guys are kind of catching rest, and I hope you guys have a wonderful time out there. I really do. You guys have
Man,
earned
I
it.
appreciate that. And thanks for holding the fort down while we're over
Sure.
here beginning chapter 2.
It's awesome.
Gaige, what's going on over there in the realm of all things sales, whatever else it
Yeah.
is that you got going on? Tell us
Yeah,
a
let's
story.
let's talk about last week. So last week was a great week, right? We did $6.4 million in sales. I know I had a great week. I know a lot of other people had a great week. And so my hat's off to everyone. The reason why that's so important, doing another $6.5 million almost, is because after that record-breaking week of 7 million, you know, almost like every single time we break a record and we have a big monster week, we almost go through 2 or 3 weeks of a slow down period, right? And so this week we really
Do you have
broke
any
out of
theory
that
on why
cycle.
that is?
I think everybody gets to celebrating. They have a big week, and then they don't follow through the next week or the week after, right? And that momentum kind of slows down a little bit.
Well,
And
I think you're wrong. Here's my theory. It's not that like one of the sayings we have in crypto, the bigger the party, the worse the hangover. What I think is happening is that we're on like a 3 to 4 week cycle with new people joining. So what happens is you join and you go, my friend's been on me forever. I gave him the money, I'm in, fine. And then like a week or 2 or 3 go by and you're like, okay, what did I get myself into again? Is this thing a scam? And you start watching some videos, you tune into some Zoom calls and you go, whoa, whoa, whoa. I need to bring on my first 3 people inside of 30 days. If I'm going to do this thing, I've got this fast start double bonus. I might as well make a move on it now. So I think we're usually on a 4-week cycle. So if we hit a real high mark, it may be 3 or 4 weeks until we see that actually materialize into additional growth. And so I'm not ever surprised or bummed out if we have a couple slow weeks. Yeah, I think you're right. And it's especially true when we're ending a big promotion. So that $7 million week was at the end of our August promotion. And so
Yeah.
we always see a big push when we're coming up on the end of a contest or the end of a promotion. So there's always a push for that. And, we like to rotate promotions and stuff. We don't always want people to be in fear of missing out on something. Like we're going to push. We've got, we're in week, 77 of 78 for the game over giveaway, which we haven't even told anyone what the terms and rules are yet. So we got another week and a half on the game over giveaway. So I'm sure next week is going to be a gigantic week with people pushing for the finish line on that. But the point is that you join, 2-3 weeks goes by, you get your coin in the mail, you get that nice glossy brochure. By the way, we just got more glossies in stock, and so the welcome kits are starting to ship out again, which is really important because there's so much good information in there. You get it, you read it, you go, well, this seems like a lot of work for a company that's a scam. Maybe I should dig into it and figure out if they really are a scam or not. And so I think that puts us on this 3 to 4 week cycle where we hit new heights and then a couple weeks and then boom. So I'm not in any way disappointed when I see sales drop. That obviously might be a little bit different for somebody that's coming from a sales background. But it's always nice to have a little reprieve, a little respite before another major growth event happens, and it gives our team time to catch up.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to see that nice big, push after a slow week of doing about 5.5 million. We almost beat it by $1 million. And we did break a record, just like McKaylin said. We onboarded 574 people on Saturday. They were working endless until 7 p.m. When commissions ran. And if that deadline was a little bit later, I think we would have got right back up there to the 7 million mark. Because as soon as commissions ran, we almost had $1 million. We had $1 million in sales sitting there, pretty much on the new week. So that was pretty amazing.
Well, you got to remember that happens because of the BOGOs. One of the things that people may not fully understand about taking your commission in hash power, we count that as a new sale. Right. So we cap every tracking center at only being able to buy 9, right? So a tracking center is able to buy up to 9 seats, okay? And generally speaking, people are only supposed to have 3 tracking centers if they buy the builder plan. But what happens is people say, well, I want more than that. Well, we allow you to earn an unlimited amount of hash power, unlimited amount of seats, but you got to roll up your sleeves. You can't buy it. That's a really important thing because it means the people that have the majority of the mining hash power are the guys that did the most to build this thing. That makes us like an anti-pump and dump, an anti-rug pull. Why would we rug pull when the guys that are holding the majority of the TXC are guys that earned that, didn't buy it, they earned it. Anyway, I digress. Point is that you can earn an unlimited amount of hash power. You can earn it through the 1-2 freeze, or you can earn it through the rapid rewards. Okay, these are parallel comp plans that allow you to either take advantage of growth based on sponsoring people or take advantage of growth based on building a team that sponsors people. We have them both, and you can do both at the same time. You don't have to choose one or the other. But the point is that if you take your commission, you do your 3 left, your 3 right, if you take your commission in hash power, we count that as a new sale. It's like we gave you your $1,000 of commission, you turned around 3 times real quick, and you put the money back down on the line in like a millisecond and said, I want more hash power. It's the only time you're allowed to buy past the 9. If you do it with money that you earn through the comp plan, not new money coming in. So we count that as a new sale. We count that as new cash, and we count that as a point. That is how the supernova happens, because those points all roll up above you. And so you'll see that our new week gets off to a jump start because people are taking their commission for the long game. They're taking their commission in additional hash power. Now that's going to get extra fun down the road because we're going to give people the ability to monetize those seats or transfer those seats to other people. And so once the million seats are full, people go, well, I've got 55 seats on the rocket ship. I could sell one or two. Well, they're worth $1,000 a head. They might sell it for 1,500 or for 2,000 or 5,000. We don't know. That's going to be a whole different market that happens later. But the point is that that's what you see when you see the new week get off to $1 million in instantaneous sales. Those are BOGO upgrades that happen. And I spent a lot of time in the early days thinking about whether or not that was actually a new sale. And of course it is. We put the money down on the table. We say you've got 1 millisecond to decide if you want that in your pocket or if you want to buy more hash power with it. If you buy more hash power, we count it as a new sale, we count it as money, and we count it as a point. And that's how the rapid rewards really kicks in, man, because all of a sudden, boom, you maxed out for the next week, or you got points for the next week. And so then Saturday comes around, man, I need one more point to hit that commission. Those points will stick around until you get paid on them. But I need one more point. So that conversation happening thousands and thousands of times all over the planet with people looking at their points and saying, one more. Who's it going to be? Come on, I need one more. So it's a lot of fun to see the week get off to a great start with those BOGO upgrades taking place.
Yeah, and going back to Supernova, you know, we have a lot of questions the last couple of weeks about how do you go Supernova, you know, what is it, everything like that. Guys, that's the people out there that are building a team, helping their team hit commissions. And when you educate them and tell them how to take that in hash power, that's where you're going Supernova, right? It's when your team and your downlines taking their commissions, hitting commissions and taking it in BOGO hash power. And so, you know, those Supernova bonuses are usually rewarded to all the team builders out there. You know, the people that are building big teams, they're not maybe the people that are signing up the most people in a week's time or over a couple of weeks' time, but the people that are growing, helping their team grow, you know, which are usually ends up becoming, you know, Rangers. That's what it takes to be a Texas Ranger. And so, you know, once you start going Supernova, that's a telltale sign you're doing a great job building out a great team. You know, and educating your team and helping them grow as well. So
let me just remind everyone as well that you don't have to take your commission in hash. You don't have to take it in TXC. When you sign up, the default is USDC. That's money that we want to put into your pocket, right? You have to actively decide for yourself that you want to change that from cash to Texit Coin or from cash to hash power. We got another Lone Star Ranger right here. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we want to make sure you understand that the BOGO hash power upgrade is the long game, right? It's like our friend Rafael Cruz says, I can tell you 3 things about money. It's better to have it than not have it. It's better to have more of it than less, and it's better to have it sooner rather than later. Now you've got to skip out on number 3 there. If you change your commission from USDC cash to hash power BOGO, that's the long game. Remember, there's only 1 million seats on the rocket. Once they're gone, they're gone. We've got a lot of stuff coming down the pike for people that have massive amounts of hash power. So if you want to play the long game, it's all good. Right now you can. But we don't ever tell anybody that they have to. That's something that we want you to decide on your own. If you like what we're doing and you want more of it, then we'd love to have the continued support. But that's a decision that you have to make because your default is always going to be set to USDC when you begin.
One thing I got to add to, I helped several people bring on their first few miners last week and make their first sales. And so if anybody's out there that needs help, the best way to get with me is send me a message on Telegram. You know, then we can set up a meeting and get on the phone with you, help you out with anything that you're struggling with and everything like that. And then also my Monday night sales calls are at 6 p.m. That's kind of where we break it down and go over what the hurdles everybody's running into. And it's a great format. We can talk about everything open, you know, get it all out in the open and discuss what the best strategies are. So those have been really effective, I think. And, you know,
who's the guy on your left? Who's that guy?
Yeah, I was just about to introduce him. This is our official TexitCoin janitor here. Tim Blake, right? His official slogan is he's cleaning up all the messes.
Cleaning up the messes. No, actually, I won't keep you. I know the call. We've almost been on here for an hour and a half here. A couple things that I just wanted to mention. So there's over 500 and some people that are on this call right now. So whether this is your very first call that you're listening to, or you've heard week after week, you've been on these calls, right? If you notice, the theme of this is it's starting to get real exciting, right? We're sitting in, some of us are sitting in Thailand right now. If you didn't get a chance to make it to this trip, there's going to be plenty of other trips and opportunities to go do different things with us, right? So again, whether this is your first time or you've been a long time listener to one of these calls, right? Now's your time. Bobby just mentioned just a second ago, he thinks maybe this is like a 3 or 4 week cycle, right? Well, there's not too many of these 3 to 4 week cycles that we're going to have left before we sell the 1,000,000th seat, right? So you're going to get out of this project what you put into it. And I don't just mean financially, right? It's your time and your effort. So right now, guys, if this doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will, right? So now's the time to get out there, start sharing this with other people. The price now is at its all-time high, right? It's very easy to share this with people out there, right? If you don't know how to do that, then jump on these Monday night calls. Reach out to one of your rangers. If you don't know your ranger, then take the time to figure out who your ranger is, right? I know that there's somebody right above you that is willing to help out, right? But we all need to work as a team together to push this to the goal line. And the goal line is going to happen whether you do anything or not. So you got to ask yourself, how much of this pie would you like to be a part of, right? That's going to be your reward for the rest of your life. We talk about that all the time, right? Thanks. We'll see you later. So now's your opportunity. Times are getting exciting, right? Right. Look at that. But don't wait.
I'm trying to see where all the zeros are and I can't see it. There's just one number on my screen.
Yeah. What do we at?
Wow,
$5.
we're at 5.
We just hit a $5 Texit Coin, right? But here's the nice thing, guys. It's still the beginning. You were still early. That's the message that you need to be sharing with everybody out there right now. But don't wait. You need to dig in. This is your reward for the rest of your life, right? So for those 500, my message to you people that are listening right now is take action. Massive action equals massive results. That's what you need to do. Okay. Let's get after it.
Yep, we're also
All right.
10.5% of the way to our first goal, guys. 10.5% is still very young. It's still very early.
So get out there.
I didn't hear what you guys said there. Can you say that last part?
I said we're 10.5% on 10.5% to the way to our first goal. We sold 100,500 seats. Or what? Was that right? Yeah.
Gaige isn't
No,
very
100 and we're
Gaige isn't very good with numbers, people.
105,000.
It's okay.
Math is hard.
105,000 seats out of the 1,000,000 sold now.
That's right. We're over 10% now. All right, hold on. I am going to ask you guys for your opinion on how to wrap up this call. We're here at an hour and a half. I just published a quick poll, how to wrap up the call. Q&A, or what did Bobby spend $480,000 on?
I
Oh,
can't
it
vote.
says panelists can't vote. What?
Yeah.
What? Come on.
69% of you so far want to know about the 480 grand and where it went. Did Bobby buy another beach house? No. Did Bobby buy another supercar? No. Bobby dropped $480,000 to become one of the top sponsors of Token 2049 in Singapore. Now, this is an interesting thing, guys, because first of all, this is, as they say, the world's largest crypto event. It's happening October 1st in Singapore. This Singapore F1 is the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of October. So the country is jam-packed. Singapore does not get more expensive, which, by the way, it's the most expensive city in the world. It does not get more expensive than this period between the crypto conference and the F1. It is the busiest and most expensive time to be in Singapore. Now, about this real quick. A couple weeks ago, this was not on our radar. That's not because we didn't want to do it. it's not because we didn't really have the cash to do it, but it's because these events are so expensive. And I was looking at it and saying, is that the best use of our money right now? Probably not. That was 6, 7, 8 weeks ago. Then all of a sudden you guys crushed every record for the last couple weeks, and we're flush with cash. And it's our job to make good decisions with what to do with that cash. And so we got somebody reached out from the event and they said, how would you like to be one of the top sponsors at this thing? And I said, a top sponsor, if you give me a package deal that is the best deal you've ever given out, then I will consider being one of your top sponsors. And they said, well, we'll give you the gold level package for $99,900. And I said, well, it's usually $130,000. Let's do it. Then they came back and they said, we've got this banner. It's available. It's $100,000 for the #1 banner. Do you want to be on the #1 banner? And I said, I kind of do want to be on the #1 banner. Yeah, okay. Let's drop an extra 100 grand on that. And then it was, do you want to sponsor the coffee station for an extra 30,000? I'm like, why not sponsor the coffee station for an extra $30,000? And so we started going through and a la carting this, and they said, tell you what, you guys have spent enough money so far. We're going to give you a keynote speaking session, and we're going to upgrade you to a platinum sponsor. You're one of, look at the names we're with, guys. Just the biggest names in the whole thing. There's MEXC. We've got some new news with MEXC. But there you go. There's a little Texit Coin. And let me pull up the list of things that we decided to do real quick as part of our package deal, because it's a pretty long list. Platinum. We are, let's see, hold on. We are, we also got a table at the after party. There's only 15 people that are allowed to have tables at the after party. So we booked ourselves the after party sponsorship for the 17 of us that'll actually be out there in Singapore. That's you. Did you know about that?
I mean, I didn't know about this.
Yeah. We're like the top sponsor
Yeah,
at the
guys,
after party.
this is so huge. If those that are in the crypto space understand the significance of this, and then now what this is going to do for us moving forward as far as talking to other exchanges and that kind of thing. So
they are not going to be able to ignore us in Asia anymore. We took over the branding of their networking app, which everybody has to download in order to like make the connections and stuff inside of the conference. 25,000 of them are going to be using the app of the event with our logo in there. We've decided to sponsor the coconut stand in addition to the coffee stand. We are the video sponsor. And we've got a couple banners now hanging in there. We've got a 15-minute keynote speech that I'll be giving, as well as what do we say, Tim? A 25-minute forum speech that Tim is going to give.
awesome.
That's correct.
And so, look, guys, you guys did this, right? You guys put us in a position now where we've got very deep pockets, and we're now one of the top sponsors at the biggest event in the world. And I looked at it and I said, look, it's the biggest event. It happens once a year. We're already going to be there. Why not? $480,000 later, our logo's on the website with the biggest of the big boys. We are going to be all over this event. You will not miss us. We're sharing our story of peace and prosperity with our friends on the other side of the world. And maybe we're going to follow up on the marketing in Asia, shortly thereafter. Maybe we'll wait till sometime after we hit $16 next year, but they'll know who we are and they cannot avoid us and our story anymore. And so it's a very exciting time to be a part of Texit Coin. If you're going to be in or around Singapore, we've got 15 tickets to get into the conference. We've got a giant booth at the conference. That's in addition to that. So guys, look, like I said from the beginning of the call, it's only a matter of time until this market pops. Right now, it's still kind of in our control. Crossing over $5 is kind of really amazing, considering that's got nothing to do with our cash and liquidity, nothing to do with us. We know it's a matter of time before the word gets out that we've got the hottest thing in crypto. You know that we've got it. I know we've got it. You saw it in Tampa. It's fun. It's pure fun now for us. And I appreciate you letting us off the hook with the Q&A. We're a little jet lagged. We're a little worn out. It's time for breakfast. We'll get back into the Q&A sometime. Hopefully there's some people going through Q&A already. But we're in Asia, guys, and this is chapter 2. Let's just take a real quick minute as we wrap up here and talk about the phases of our project. phase one is building the mine in Texas. I need us to all stay tunnel vision on that goal. That's our goal. We establish it. We're doing well. We're over 10% of the way there. We're on track to crush it ahead of schedule. Very nicely done. That's phase one. Part two of phase one is to share our story with our friends on the other side of the world. Remember, we manufacture Texit Coin in Texas. We export it all over the world. Our target market for export is Japan, Korea, China. Why? Because they love crypto, they love to gamble, they love freedom, they love Western culture, they love Texas values. And we've got a story to tell those guys. It's a unique story. Just like my story is unique in the US, my story in Asia is unique as well. I'm the only one that can tell it. Now we're moving on to the second part of phase one. Phase two is building our utility, community currencies all around the state built on the TXC blockchain. That's how we go from 16 to upwards way past 100. Phase three then is to duplicate, maybe saying this out loud for the first time, is to create what I call cross mining. A network in Texas is great, but if it's dependent on the Texas grid and the Texas grid goes down and we're expecting the world to respect our currency, that's tough. So we're going to develop something called cross mining, where we have sister coins in other parts of the world that are supporting our network at no cost whatsoever to Texit Coin miners. Most important part, guys, zero cost to us. We get to double, triple, quadruple, quintuple the size of our mine at no cost to Texit Coin miners. This is a technology that we are developing ourselves called cross mining. It's the same as merge mining, except we get to keep all of our coin, but we're supporting a network on the other side of the world. At the same time, that network is supporting us. So a lot of stuff is coming down the pike. That's phase three. That's how we go from $1,000 up to $3,000 per coin, number 2 or number 3 on the top 10. Okay, so we're not stopping at 16. We've got the target in sight. It's locked on. You guys are taking us there. Thank you very much. It's my job to continue to lead the way. And because I've got such great people that are helping protect this goose that lays our golden egg. Thank you, Robbie Ruth. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Gaige. Thank you, McKaylin. Thank you, Kristen. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Paige. Thanks to all the people at the office that are really doing a great job. We're able to move on now to chapter 2 of phase 1. Phase 2 comes next after that. But we're starting to plant some seeds on here on the other side of the world where they've got trillions and trillions of dollars in warehouses, cash, US dollars, just dying to find a new home. Texit Coin is their home. It's your home. It's my home. It's their home too. Honest money, the message of peace and prosperity is something that everybody on planet Earth can get behind and will get behind if I have any say in the matter. I've got a lot of great people like you and all of you that are here to help me make this dream a reality. And I could not do any of it without you. Remember, guys, I'm Bobby Gray. I'm the founder and the guy that's lucky enough to call himself the fearless leader of TexitCoin. I want to thank you again for taking your time out of the evening to join us. We've got some breakfast on the menu here and some coffee to continue waking ourselves up. Any final words before we say goodbye and goodnight? Guys, I'm having a blast. I hope you are too. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me. And we will connect again on Thursday night. Who's doing the call on Thursday night?
Robbie Roo.
Robbie Roo is taking our
Doing it.
Thursday night call.
Let's go,
I
Robbie.
bowed out last time. I said it was my last one. We've got to open this up and let other people share their great stories as well. Thank you very much to everybody. We're having the time of our lives, guys. TexitCoin to the moon and beyond. Good night, everyone.
Good night.